Hello and welcome to How to Play QCKC Solitaire, a game for one player. This game comes to us from Solitaire by David Parlett. There is no internet source for the rules of this game, so therefore I'll just take a picture of the rule book and you can see the type of language that I have to decipher when I do these videos. Now this was named QC, but they said eventually it would be named KC when King Charles took over. That was written back in 1979. I think back then they didn't know how long the Queen would live for. Well, it was a much longer period of time. So we're going to take our 2 decks of cards, shuffle them together, and we're going to deal out 6 columns of 4 cards each. We can play from the draw pile or the discard pile onto the reserve or onto the foundation piles. So there will be 8 foundation piles because this is a 2-deck solitaire. We can move only 1 card at a time, and we can build on the foundation or on the reserve in sequence as long as they're in the same suit, and any vacancies in the reserve must be filled immediately with the card on the discard pile. The top card of the discard pile will be filled immediately. Now there's no rules that say you have no choice in this, so therefore I take it as I don't make a vacancy until I am happy with whatever cards on the discard pile. So let's play a game. Go ahead and name how many cards that are going to be red on the left side of the foundations versus the right. There'll be the 4 foundation cards on the left versus the 4 foundation cards on the right. When we finish this game, how many books of red cards do you think there will be on the left side versus the right? So if you think there will be all 4, if you think there will be 3, 2, or 1, go ahead and make your guess. This is a game that you can play with any of the solitaire videos I do where there are 2 decks of cards. Whatever the last card finishes as, we're going to turn that book over. And if it's a red-backed card, then that will count as a red-backed book. If it's a blue-backed card, will count as a blue book. Anyway, so we're going through our draw deck, and we are playing cards onto the reserve if we can build down in sequence and of the same suit. If we see an ace, we put it immediately to the top of the foundation piles. Now already there's a fatal flaw in this game, one that I should have realized, that if you see 2 aces of the same suit in the reserve, it's probably not very possible for you to win this game. Now you're allowed 1 redeal per game, so I went ahead and took the first redeal, and I just kept going with it, seeing if I could win this game, but I should have gotten the diamonds pile ridded first, and I probably should have waited on the spades so I could have a place for that 3 of spades. Real question is where to put that queen of diamonds. Unfortunately, I did not do that, and so therefore this is not going to be a winnable game. So we see our first book that we've completed. It was in the diamond suit, and you see the back card was a red card. So if you guessed all 4 would be on the left, you've already lost. However, if you guessed maybe 3 or 2 blues would be on the left versus the right 4 books, you might still have a chance. So let's go ahead and see what happens. And we're doing pretty well. We're building up in our foundation piles in increasing order, and we are building down on the reserve in decreasing order within the same suit. This game is an odds against game, and like most odds against games, you're not going to win it. Sometimes you just get a bad shuffle, and there I just got a bad shuffle. So let's do what we do with most odds against games. Let's just not shuffle the cards very well. Let's see what happens if we don't do that. We'll just go ahead and start a new game. So 6 columns of 4 cards each. And hey, what do you know? They're in great order. So now I'm not going to play that 4 of clubs yet, because I'm going to wait until I got a good card to springboard onto the next. So now I'm going to play that 5, then 6, now 7 goes up there. I'm going to wait and hold off on playing the 7 of clubs until I get something more favorable, as in I could see the 8 of clubs and I have that ready, or have something better than that. I do have a jack of spades that I will need to move that's on that last column, so I found a queen of spades, therefore that allows me to move that jack of spades. Hey, I found a 10 of spades, now that 9 moves over. So now I'm really happy with the results. I'm playing a little bit smarter than I did the previous game. I'm realizing what I need to do in order to win, so I put that king of hearts because that was the top card of the discard pile. So that's the only real strategy I see in this game, is moving your draw pile until you find a card in your discard pile that you want to have. Don't springboard until that time. So I went ahead and played the King of Diamond from the discard pile instead of the one that was on the reserve, because anytime I could deal a vacancy with a king, I'm in really good shape for this game. And that's what my ultimate goal is going to be, is to fill the reserve with kings if I am able to. So now everything's going really, really well. We just need an 8 of hearts. We don't have that. Now I'm considering what I could do. I'm going to build everything up. So we see we have one red book on the left, and one blue book on the right. Now we have 2 red books on the left and 1 on the right. So now, those of you who said we'd have all 4 on the left, you've already lost. Those who said you'd have 3 on the left, you lost. Those who said 2, you might have a good chance. Just depends on if we have another red on a finished book. Let's see what happens. And you can pretty much play this game with any of my solitaire videos. There are 2 decks. Nope, we see a blue. So, okay, now we see 3 blues on the right, and so that means we will have 1 on the left. So we won, so yay! And like always, if you actually want to play some card games out in public that aren't solitaires, come to our subreddit Card Game Meetups and post a public place you'd like for somebody to meet you to play some cards and what game you're willing to play. Do click on the show more and see the other video channels I like, and I have some new ones on there. We also have a link to a Discord server on there where you can talk about card games and even potentially find somebody in your city that might be on there that wants to play card games in public. Do call your friends if you have any friends and ask them if they'd like to play cards. They might say yes, they might say no, but either way, at least you've called your friends, and that's a lot better than a lot of other people do. Do vote for this month's Game of the Month, and do like, subscribe, and share these videos with other people you know like playing card games. And I want to thank today's musicians, and I'll see you next video.